it's confirmed on my end, I can start. So let me see. Yeah. So the recording has started. I will just sit straight and then we'll start. Thank you. Hello, I'm Mariela Reck. I'm project manager at the Access to Insurance Initiative, and I lead the Inclusive Insurance Innovation Lab. The Inclusive Insurance Innovation Lab is a year-long program where country teams from 4 countries work together on innovative solutions with the objective of advancing inclusive insurance in their country. So we're currently in the second cohort, and our countries are Argentina, India, Morocco, and Rwanda. So the way the lab works is that each country team is composed of stakeholders from approximately 8 institutions, and they together collectively represent the inclusive insurance space. So experienced facilitators then use design thinking methodologies to accompany the teams in analyzing the state of inclusive insurance in their country before working together on developing solutions that we call prototype that are needed in the country and are targeted at vulnerable, excluded, and underserved. So we are now at the end of the second edition of the Inclusive Insurance Innovation Lab, and teams are finalizing their prototype and working together on how they might implement in the medium and long term. So this is a time to reflect on the past year, and I'm happy to do so together with Shree Kumar, CEO of Bima Vistaar, a community-based institution working with low-income populations and providing inclusive insurance solutions to their communities. So thank you, Shrikant, for taking the time to reflect on the past year with me.
Thank you, Mariela, for inviting me to this lab and for this interview.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. So how would you describe the Inclusive Insurance Innovation Lab to your colleagues?
Yeah, so frankly speaking, it's a lifetime experience. When I joined this lab, I was in awe. We're working with different stakeholders from India and from across the globe with so much diverse experience and exposure, someone seeing it from the regulatory perspective, someone from the manufacturer perspective as an insurance company, someone from this distributor perspective. And I was trying to bring my perspective, which is from the bottom-up approach, the ultimate woman living somewhere in the small slums of India and trying to insure herself, trying to protect her risk, her income. So I was trying to bring her voice. So seeing things from so many different perspectives in itself is a altogether different experience. So I must say that it's a life-changing experience, and this journey was fabulous. And we are hopeful that when we come with our prototype, that will make some good change in entire inclusive insurance space, and particularly from the gender perspective, because I speak on behalf of our members, those who are women of informal workers.
Thank you, Shrikant. And I think you've touched already a little bit upon what you aim to do in the country team, but could you maybe describe it a little bit more in detail? What is the plan of the India country team? What are you working on?
Yeah, so as you mentioned that this entire lab in itself is like from synthesizing, identifying some of the core issues or core intervention area from members' perspective or those who are beneficiary of this inclusive approach, then synthesizing those ideas, bringing it together, because issues are so diverse that we have to come with very clear-cut description of the aspect that what we want to address. So it went on, and finally, based on some feedback from the international experts also, and that was very helpful. They make us more, make it more potent, more focused, and more practical in terms of this entire approach. And we come with 2 broader domain area. One is that how we are going to communicate the need of the insurance to low-income segment to different modes, and including the ringtone and these caller tunes. And the second one is a very unique idea which talks about the combination of different risk in one product. Because if we see from the woman perspective, she herself put our entire family take care. So she has to take care of different risks. She has to take care of the life, income, hospitalization, all sorts of risk, and she is not able to manage all these risks to different products. So it comes from through different focus group discussion and interview that we need such a product in an affordable way, in a simple way, where we can approach one-stop solution type of things, where we just go, and I would refer in their own words that we want a shopping mall where we just go and buy every grocery at one stop. So why we cannot buy insurance in one stop and get the solution? We have to go for one solution at one place and for another solution at another place, and then bringing all these solution in a regulatory framework, because that is also a very important thing. And last but not the least, make it more digital driven, because that's the purpose, because the simplicity is the beauty of this entire complex idea is so complex that if you do it in the other way, it will become very complex to manage. So to make it more simple, affordable, and bring it at one platform, that's the idea which we are looking forward in coming few months.
Are you active in one of the groups more specifically?
Yes, Mariela, I'm part of this combi-product group. And as I mentioned, we have different approach in this entire lab. So in this group also, we are actively participating with the insurance companies, some of the big distributors, and we as a community-based organization bringing that perspective. And regulator is also providing their input that how right now regulatory it's possible and all those things. So some innovative ideas is are coming, which may not be right now allowed in the regulatory framework. So that is a bit pushing the limit of thought process from regulator side also. And they are also thinking that how we can make some favorable regulation to bring this type of products and approach in their regulatory domain. So frankly speaking, now most of us, all of us almost are on the same page. Things are broadly in consensus after so much deliberation, discussion, opposing views, and you can imagine how exciting and sometimes. So that's why I try to say that this journey in itself is very exciting, and learning how people learned and exchanged from each other's views.
Thank you. It seems like you knew exactly what I wanted to ask you. So I think it's very exciting to learn that the Innovation Lab is also a space where things that were previously not possible are then made possible by having all the stakeholders involved and the regulator also part of the team who can then see how regulation can be adapted so that innovation is possible. So what do you think has been the best part and the most exciting part of the trip so far?
So, I mean, I must say that each and every session, whenever, because unfortunately or fortunately, you can say, due to COVID, entire lab was conducted online. So it has its another dimension. You have to interact with people and keep as engaging as it could have in offline things. So I must say that, frankly speaking, I have a very good idea about the insurance work, what is going in India. And I worked on some other projects in Africa also, but I have had never experienced anything what is going in Latin America. So the experience from Argentina and Morocco was totally new for me, and any perspective brings value to your existing perspective. So the way the Argentinian team is doing some of the innovative works, the story of a Moroccan lady, I cannot forget that still, that how that lady was working in a restaurant and how things went tariff for that. So that story is sticking with me. The same applies to the Rwanda team, how they are innovating some of the products in their health portfolio and like that. So in larger perspective, I must say that every country has its own unique issues. But the common thread is, I must say that the challenges are almost similar in nature. Lots of cross-cutting themes are similar. So I must say that solutions, whatever one country will come up with, that's the beauty of this app, that can be applicable to other countries also. So whatsoever the solution Argentina team can come with, it's not like that is going to be applicable in that country. So suppose I'm just trying to extrapolate it, that each country come with 2 solutions. So it's not like that there are going to be only 8 solutions. I would say that 8 solutions for every country means there will be 32 solutions. So that's the beauty of this entire lab, that due to this cross-cutting issues and every country is exchanging, and we have had a very good international workshop on every few months or so, and some experts coming from outside this lab, and they were bringing a lot of international exposure, ideas. And then one I can recall very vividly that we have to present just in 3-4 minutes our idea, and some of the experts from business, from insurance, from other field questioned us, challenged us. So it's like a very exciting how to sharpen your ideas to make it focus. You can talk for hours, but if someone asks you that what you did in a month or years of your professional life, explain in 3 minutes, it's very difficult and challenging task. But we did that, and that was very exciting.
Thank you, and I think the teams did very well in presenting to the panel. I like your math, 4 times 8 solutions. You mentioned also how COVID impacted the program, and how previously it was planned as face-to-face workshop, but then was moved entirely online. How did you experience the work online, and did it impact also the content of the working group that you have been active in?
Yeah, so I mean, it's 2 part. Frankly speaking, the second wave, as you all know, in India was so severe that we all were impacted, our colleagues, our families, everyone. So that was very honestly devastating for all of us. So it took some time to get up out of that. So in first wave, it was lockdown. So we get used to the online working together, and it impact was not such as huge. I mean, it was not very huge impact. Lockdown was there, we were working from home, but mentally we were agile or active and engaged as much with the lab as we could have in even the offline engagement. But the second wave has impacted us very well, and that took some time to get out of that shock, to be honest with you. But we tried to remain together. I recall where after second wave, we have few calls where we just asked well-being of each other rather than talking about the work progress. So that's the another beauty of lab, and I will certainly thank to the moderators and to the team, those who were managing this lab, that they understood it. It's not like that pressure was to deliver it on time, whether whatsoever the situation. It is like very accommodative design. So I must compliment the entire team, those who are managing it behind the scene, that how to reschedule some of the timelines, how to come up with the new innovative approach. So lab in itself is a new, and conducting lab in such a tough situation, it makes it more unique. So I must say it's a very mixed experience and exciting journey.
Thank you. I just see that my face is super dark, so I just open the window here and see if it's better. So I'm always grateful for my colleague who can edit videos. Yeah, thank you. I think the way you describe also how the way like the corona virus impacted the India team was something where we were actually quite we didn't expect it on the one hand, that how severe it would be. We thought after the first wave everything will be better, and then we saw that it was very, very severe, and how we had to just make sure that everyone is safe, right? So I think that was also the focus. But I'm happy that now the team is back working, the hosting team as well as the country teams. So I think we're just grateful that we somehow made it through this time, and hopefully things will be better from now on. You mentioned before how you've been able to meet people from different countries, and I think this is also one of the big benefits that we see for the participants in the lab. Could you maybe just summarize in a few words how you have experienced this relationship building?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier also that every country has some unique proposition, and particularly when we talked there with the practitioners from each of these countries, they were from such a diverse things, and regulator also. So rather than talking more on the, I would say, uh, general issues, they talked and brought very specific, pertinent issues. And I, as a practitioner, like that approach, because when you interact and engage with someone who is practicing and facing this issue on day-to-day basis, that helps you understand. So I just recall one more interaction with one of the Argentinian team colleague who is working with the regulator, and she's actuary. So I shared some of my issues with her when we have a breakout room, and I explained to her that how we are finding, and actuaries are finding it difficult to design some of the products for this segment. And this is one of the barrier which I think inclusive insurance is facing, because if you don't price things in different way, you cannot have the same yardstick what you are applying for the normal market and normal population for the this low income segment. And she, frankly speaking, agreed to it, and she told that yes, you are right, that actually also should take some risk and understand the ground reality and try to design some of the products. So it's a two-way thing. The same I must say, when Rwanda, one regulator from Rwanda, when we were in another breakout room, we explained that how Rwanda is trying to do and bring some of the add-on services like preventive health and all those things in their product design itself. So that is also a very good learning, which in past we tried to do it here in India. So I must say, I have endless example to share, but a few of these examples, and every interaction was very open, very friendly, and I must say thanks to all those senior colleagues and all the participants that they open up, they share their learnings, and they accepted any of the feedback from any one of us. So that's the beauty. It's like a family, to be honest with you. Over a period of time, we have started calling each other with the first name and knowing each other, not just as a professional, but as a better human being and in person also. So that's another byproduct of this lab. I would say that maybe some of the friendship will go beyond this lab.
Thank you, and I really hope that one day we'll be able to, have everyone meet in one room again. That would be just really nice. The last question, Shrikant, what is your message to future lab candidates?
You grab it. I mean, if you get the opportunity, you just grab it. Be serious to yourself, because I mean, you can get enormous insight from anyone, from any encounter, and from any interactive session. So that's one line message. And be serious about the engagement, because we all are working professional. We have enormous challenges on our working front. So you don't see this as an additional work. You just see part of your entire journey, growth, learning. The moment you embed it in your work or in your learning thing, this lab will be like an exciting place where you just wait that I go when the next meeting will happen. So that's the and maybe another approach. If you see it as that it's additional work, then this may not be a best place even first time to commit. So once you are committed, you embed it in your work and try to look forward in exciting way for each and every session, and then it's like a lifetime experience. And I enjoyed it in that way only.
Thank you, Shrikant, for your insights, and I wish the India team a lot of success for the rest of the journey. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mariella, for this opportunity to designing such a beautiful concept. Thanks to you and to your entire team. Thank you.
Thank you.